What if one day, humans simply vanished? No war, no disease, just gone. Cities would fall silent, skyscrapers would stand like forgotten monuments, and Earth would begin to write a new story, without us. In this journey, we'll explore what happens to our world in the days, years, and even millennia after humanity disappears. From collapsing power grids to rising forests, and the last glowing trace of our existence still orbiting above the Earth. This is what would happen if humans disappeared from Earth. Our universe, an unimaginable vastness, is home to more than 2 trillion galaxies, stars, and planets. Around 13.5 billion years ago, it all began with the Big Bang. From that moment, stars, galaxies, and planets emerged into existence. Among these countless galaxies lies our very own, the Milky Way, and within it, our precious planet Earth, which was born about 4.5 billion years ago. Since then, Earth has witnessed the rise and fall of many fascinating creatures, but none are as iconic as the dinosaurs. Yes, there was a time when dinosaurs ruled the Earth, but that era came to a sudden end around 65 million years ago, when a massive asteroid struck our planet. The impact was so catastrophic, it wiped out the dinosaurs completely. Then came humans. Over time, we evolved. And with that evolution came progress. We reshaped the world, built luxury cars to travel, constructed towering buildings and palaces to live in, and we even conquered the skies with airplanes. Today, the human population has surpassed 8 billion, and it continues to grow at an accelerating pace. Haven't subscribed to Cosmic Vision yet? Do it now, and press the bell icon so you're the first to witness the mysteries of the universe. Your love, your likes, and your comments fuel our passion to go even further. The first 24 hours. Within hours, the world would begin to change. Planes still in the sky would crash, as no one is left to guide them. Power plants, most of them automated, would keep running for a little while. But without engineers to manage them, the lights of our cities would begin to fade within 48 hours. Animals locked in homes and farms would face a grim fate. While some pets would escape and adapt, many would not survive long on their own. Just a few hours after the disappearance of humans, electricity around the world would begin to shut down. Only those places powered by hydroelectric stations or solar energy would continue to have electricity, but not for long. Hydroelectric stations take about 2 to 3 days to completely shut down. As for solar energy, it requires human maintenance. Without it, solar systems would also stop functioning within a few days, and soon darkness would fall over the entire planet. As night spreads across the globe, the stars in the sky would appear even more beautiful, shining brighter than ever before. With humanity gone, an eerie silence would take over the world. One by one, massive factories and industries would shut down. The world would be silent. In a way, it has never been before. Human-made buildings, once full of life, would now stand empty. Palaces and skyscrapers would become hollow monuments of a vanished civilization. Everywhere, silence. Just a few days later, nuclear and power plants around the world would automatically switch to safety mode to prevent disasters. Without human intervention, they would shut down one by one. At the same time, the underground parts of our cities would begin to change. In only a matter of days, subway stations and underground tunnels would start filling with water. Take New York City, for example. Every day, about 13 billion gallons of water are pumped out from beneath the city to keep the subways dry. This system relies entirely on electric pumps, and without humans to keep them running, the pumps would fail. water would slowly start seeping in, and within days, entire subway networks would be submerged. Phase 2. Nature awakens. About 10 days after the disappearance of humans, the animals kept in cages and zoos would begin to die. Deprived of food and care, they wouldn't survive long. Some animals, however, would break free, but freedom wouldn't mean peace. It would mark the beginning of a brutal struggle for survival. Some species would begin hunting others. Those unable to adapt would perish quickly. A new food chain would emerge, shaped by chaos. Smaller animals like house cats and small dogs would become easy prey for larger predators. Meanwhile, bigger dogs would form packs, hunting together and dominating the urban wilderness. A new era would begin, one ruled not by humans, but by nature's law. After about 1 month, power plants would begin to collapse. These massive systems require constant cooling, usually done with water. But without maintenance, that water would slowly evaporate. And when the cooling stops, destruction begins. Massive explosions, unlike anything the modern world has ever witnessed, would tear through the land. The impact would be devastating. Not just buildings and machinery, but hundreds of thousands of animals would fall victim to this new wave of destruction. The Earth would begin to reshape itself, in the absence of the very species that once claimed to control it. Phase 3. After 1 to 100 years. Around 1 year after humans vanish, satellites launched from Earth would begin falling back toward the planet. Today, over 8,000 satellites orbit our world, and without constant corrections from ground control, they would slowly lose their paths. As they re-enter Earth's atmosphere, they'd burn up and fall, appearing like thousands of shooting stars streaking across the sky. But there would be no one left to witness this mesmerizing display. 25 years later, the roads we built would begin to disappear under nature's slow but unstoppable advance. Grass, weeds, and trees would break through the cracks. Highways would begin to look more like forest trails, slowly turning into jungles. By year 30, Earth's air would become cleaner than it's been in centuries, with no factories, no vehicles, and no pollution. The skies would be clearer, the atmosphere purer. The world would become calm, peaceful, untouched. Only wild animals would roam the land now, freely, without fear of humans. Cities like Dubai and Las Vegas, built in the heart of deserts, would slowly be swallowed by sand. Over time, these once bustling metropolises would vanish beneath dunes, relics of a forgotten civilization. And across the entire Earth, nature would take back control, erasing the mark humanity once left behind. Phase 4. 100 to 10,000 years. 100 years after humanity's disappearance, countless dams, buildings, and man-made structures would begin to collapse. With no one left to maintain or repair them, even the strongest constructions would slowly give way to time. By 150 years, the roads that once turned green would now resemble rivers and streams. Nature would continue its unstoppable transformation, carving new waterways where humans once walked. At 300 years, one of the world's most iconic landmarks, the Eiffel Tower, would begin to fall. Any structure made of iron or steel would now rust and decay, crumbling piece by piece. For centuries, no hands had been there to protect them. Rivers would slowly return to their natural paths. Earth, now entirely covered in vegetation, would become one massive jungle. Everywhere you looked, there would be trees, forests, and greenery stretching as far as the eye could see. In this untouched wilderness, new species would begin to emerge, born into a world where nature once again ruled supreme. After about 400 years, wetlands would begin to regenerate. Swamps and marshes would flourish once again, becoming sanctuaries for birds. At 450 years, wildlife would be thriving like never before. Birds, animals, and fish, their populations would now be 100 times greater than before. In the oceans, new kinds of creatures would evolve, adapting to this untouched Earth. On land and in water, mammals and reptiles would dominate once again, just as the dinosaurs once did, over 65 million years ago. By the time 500 years have passed, every trace of modern civilization would be gone. The towering cities we once built would be buried under forests. The animals would now reign in the very places humans once called home. Along riverbanks and coastlines, birds would gather in massive numbers. Their songs would echo across a world that no longer knew the sound of machines. 600 years later, Earth's appearance would be completely transformed. From space, the planet would look more alive than ever before, covered in deep blues and vibrant greens. A planet reborn, a world without humans, but not without life. Phase 5, the distant future. 10,000 years after humanity's disappearance, only a few scattered traces of our existence would remain. Among them, the pyramids of Egypt, the Great Wall of China, and a handful of the ancient 7 wonders of the world. Built from stone and designed to withstand time, they would be the last whispers of a forgotten civilization. But as centuries pass, even these monuments would begin to crumble, slowly becoming one with the earth. Time marches on. 30 million years. 50 million years. According to some estimates, the last surviving trace of humankind may be plastic bottles, buried deep beneath the soil or ocean floor. But even plastic, after millions of years, will break down. And finally, 300 million years after our disappearance, nothing will remain. Not a single structure, not a single word, not even a footprint. Earth will move forward as if we were never here. If, by chance, a new intelligent species ever arises, they may explore the land, the skies, and the seas, but they will never know that once a species called humans ruled this planet. Our existence would become nothing more than a mystery, a lost chapter in the endless story of Earth. We shape the planet, but the planet does not need us. If humans vanished, Earth would recover. Life would go on, but the cosmos might never know we were here, unless we leave our mark not just on Earth, but in the stars. This is the story of what happens when we disappear. But the real question is, what legacy will we leave behind before we go? We hope you found this video thought-provoking. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video with another incredible journey through time and space.